Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Moran and this is the place where I usually share my CrochetObjet knitting journey mixed with other joyful and inspiring things from me as a maker based in Israel. Today is going to be a different video. Today is Thursday, October 12th. It's 12:50 in noontime, and we are having horrifying days here in Israel. Over the last few days, I received thousands of messages, thousands of DMs in Instagram, Etsy conversations, Facebook messages, emails, comments here on YouTube, thousands of messages asking about us in this situation, asking how we are, and sending prayers, and thousands of really heartwarming messages all around all social and media and all platforms. And I told Eyal yesterday, I usually, when my family, I read these messages to my family because they are so heartwarming. And I asked them, yesterday I asked them, how can I reply so many messages? How can I tell these people that are writing to me how I appreciate these messages that I get from them, and how my family appreciate it. But I cannot answer so many messages, and I cannot answer each and every one of them. So Eyal told me, you have your YouTube channel, you can maybe record a short video and say, thank you everyone, and give your followers a little update. So this is what I will try to do today. I want to say I am not organized. I didn't make any notes. I don't know how will it go. I will try to speak and to give you a little update. But I'm not sure it can come up very all over the place and very not organized, and maybe my English is not too, for sure my English is not too good and rich enough to explain, but I will try to make it simple and to explain and to share the situation from my point of view, and to update from our family. And of course, I just want to first say a huge thank you for all of you over there that send us messages to me, to my family, that sent your prayers. Each message was, I read each message and mostly read them loud to my family, because in most cases we are all 5 of us together. And we really appreciate these messages from you. They are heartwarming. I wish I could share every word you wrote me. I'm so blessed with the community that was built around this little CrochetObjet knitting journey. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you also for your prayers. I really believe in prayer. I personally pray every day, and I teach my kids to pray and to raise their head and pray for peace, for quiet. So thank you for all your prayers. So let's start with this little update that I want to share today. So actually we are, as you know, I'm not going to update you with the news. If you want to know more, you can read it everywhere. I can see it's the situation in Israel, the war in Israel is shared all over in the news all over the world. So if you don't live under a rock, I guess you know what is happening. On Saturday morning, 6:30, I woke up. We just a few days before it, we came back from our vacation with Eyal's family in Poland, and then Eyal and myself, we visited Copenhagen for a few days. And this was a weekend after, I think, 1 or 2 weekends away. So I was so happy to be at home, to start the Saturday. Saturday is our Shabbat, so I was very happy to be with my family. I, turned my head in the bed. I saw that Eyal is awake as well. I said, wow, I slept very good. Good morning. And then after a few minutes, I heard an alarm. I could say from my experience, it's not very far away from us. So I told Eyal, let's go out of the bed and get prepared because it might get closer to us. I want to be prepared, and maybe if it comes, we will need to wake up the kids. And this is what happened. After a few minutes, the alarm in our neighborhood was turned on. It's a very, very heavy, noisy, very loud alarm. So you cannot not hear it. And this alarm tells you get to go, you have 1 minute or 1.5 minutes in our place to get into a shelter. So our safety place here is downstairs. We live in the 7th floor, so we have to go down downstairs to the, we call it miklat in Hebrew. I will need my Google Translate today for this video, I guess a lot, but let's see. It's a shelter place down in the basement of the building. This building is very old. We don't have a safety room in each apartment, but we do have a shelter, a basement in the basement of this building. But the other option is that you can go and go a few floors down and to stay in the staircase, because it's also considered as a safe place because it's built out of concrete. So we and the neighbors, we have one more neighbor in the 7th floor. We usually knock the door for each other to make sure that we are awake. So we did it, but we already saw that they are coming out of the door, and we went down 2.5 floors. Okay, after this we waited there for a few minutes, and then we heard the boom, and then we waited a few minutes, and we all have applications on our cell phones telling us if it's safe to go back to home. And then we went upstairs back to our home, and everybody was opening the news in the cell phones, and we heard there are many alarms and bombs are coming to the south of Israel. We thought, okay, this is the usual, more or less the usual routine here in Israel. But after a few minutes, we started to see on social media something new is happening. So I will not go into all the chronological details, but ever since this morning until today, we are having horrifying days, horrifying moments, horrifying news ever since this Saturday morning, and today is already Thursday. So to give you a little bit of update about our family, trying to answer your questions on all of your messages. All the 5 of us, we are okay. We are, our eldest Maya, she just moved to a new roommate apartment in Tel Aviv, but she immediately joined us to be together with us. She also lives in a very old apartment in Tel Aviv, so she also doesn't have a safety room built in her apartment, just like us. So she said, I'm not feeling very safe. First she moved to my sister that has a safety room in her apartment in Tel Aviv, but eventually she said, I want to join you, and we wanted her to join us. So all the 5 of us, we live together. We are in our home here in Ramat Gan, and we are all, thankfully, touch wood, we are all safe at the moment. We are all okay. But unfortunately, I guess as every other family in Israel, we have many people that we know that got murdered. So in our family, one of my daughters, Maya, one of her friends that she used to be riding horses. She used to be, she ride horses for a few years when she was a child, when she was younger. And Libby, her friend, they were very, very close friends during these years. Close friends, just so they were meet for a sleepover every other weekend or so. So Libby was sleeping in our place and Maya was going to sleep over in Libby's place. So they were very close. Libby was dancing and having fun in a nature party in the south of Israel, and she got murdered. I shared her stepfather telling about how she called him and told him she got shot in her stomach and she got murdered. But she called home a few moments before she died. So this is one case, and Maya, our eldest, went to her funeral yesterday, and in these very moments when I record this video, she went to the Shiv'ah. Libby has a twin brother that Maya was in touch with him all the days that Libby were known as missing before they found her body. It took a few days to find the body and to recognize the body and to find out that Libby is officially dead. So Maya was in a very close connection with the twin brother. And our youngest, actually 3 of our kids, the 3 kids will go to another funeral of a guy live here in the building next to us, a 19-year-old boy that was a scout guide of our youngest boy last year. So he also got murdered, and he is a soldier, 19-year-old. He is, I think, less than a year in serving in the army. So they will go to this funeral today. Regarding if I want to update with our routine, so because we don't have a safety room building in our apartment, because we live in an old building, as I told you, we actually spend the night over in Eyal's mom's apartment. She lives in a modern building, and she has a safety room built in her apartment. So according to the news and according to whatever we feel, like if we have a lot of alarms or if we have less alarms, we decide if we go to her. To be honest, I don't know if we do the right decision. I think if we wanted to be 100% on the safe side, we need to be there all the time. But because we are in and out for volunteering, for funerals, for Shiva, we decided that we will be partially in our home and partially in Eyal's mom, in my mother-in-law apartment. And according to the recommendations here we made like a huge, not a huge, but we made like a bag filled with some dry food and water, and we placed towels and a little bucket and a little light that you can use without on batteries, without electricity. We put it there in the safety room in my mother-in-law's place, so it's there and it's ready for us if worst come worst and we need to be locked in this room without going out. I really hope that these days will not come, but I cannot promise it. Thanks God, I have an adult kids. They hear the news. They are having applications in their apps, in their smartphones. They know everything. So we make decisions together, but they know that these days might come. Anyway, as for now, we are partially in our apartment and sometimes we go to sleep there. Eyal is partially working from home, Maya partially working from home. There is no school all over Israel, and kids are actually they learn partially learning in Zoom, but they mostly meet in Zoom to be speaking about the situation and to get support. Mostly in Tomer, our youngest is 13, mostly in his age. Uri is 15, already almost 16. They are more adult. Uri is a very activist and involved, so he has a lot of other groups that he can speak with, he can get updated, he read a lot about the situation, and he also writes a lot about the situation. Eyal, in his work, they had a little tool in the computer where they could fill up a form if you want to be volunteering, helping the people that got hurt in the south. I guess you heard the news. More than 1,000, like 1,200 people got murdered. More people got their houses got burned and destroyed and bombed, so they don't have nowhere to live, and the government sent some of the people to hotels in the south, but a lot of volunteers have found other places to be offering to these people to come and use in more safe places, or I really don't know how to explain it, but these people need food, they need clothes, so we also here in the neighborhood we arranged like packages with like we in our family we took responsibility to buy shampoo and like liquid soaps and all kind of this stuff to add to these packages, and then we went down to pack them and to send them. And Eyal filled up a form in his work, and he was volunteering for transportation. So he will transport whenever they tell him to come and transport. He goes and he take the car and he move packages or whatever needs to be transport from one point to another to support as much as we can the people that got hurt. Parallel to all of this, there is the big question is in our family. I'm not sure when was the last time that we turned on the TV. We do have a TV in our, this is an ambulance. We live very close to a hospital, to a very big hospital in Israel. We live really close. It's like 5 minutes walking, 10 minutes maximum. So we hear a lot of ambulances and a lot of helicopters that bring people that needs emergency or that has like, critic situation. So we hear a lot of helicopters and a lot of ambulances. So it mixed up with all the noises that you hear and with the alarms, and it keeps you alert. So I was just about to explain regarding TV and news. So if you want or if not, the kids are with their smartphones and they see everything. So, and we as well. But in our family, we only have TV for watching movies together or watching like Gilmore Girls with my daughter or something like that. But we hardly keep it open for news. It's a decision we made like 2 years ago, and it works for us. But during these days, there is a very big question in the air. And you don't know if you want to see the news or if you don't want to see the news. But you feel like if you live in this country, you need to know what is going on, and you need to know all of these horrifying things that Hamas did. And it includes news about babies that were found in these places, murdered, and they were found without heads, or they were found tied with a cable one to another. And you need to be getting this information. If you turn on the TV, you will see this information. We don't see pictures. Thanks God, our media doesn't share these. Like if you go to TikTok, you can see these pictures. I don't know who is sharing these pictures, but on TV news, you don't see the pictures of these babies, but you can hear and you can understand the details. You don't have to see the pictures, and you can hear from the people that are collecting the parts of the bodies. What do they have to see? So last night, I'm not sure if I made a mistake or not, but I think it was 10:30 when I said, let's turn off this TV, let's go to bed, and hopefully we will have a quiet night, but let's turn off this TV. But before we turn off the TV, we already saw and heard about horrifying things. So I think all 5 of us, we couldn't sleep. really all night, and I'm not sure if you can see it on my eyes, but we didn't have like quiet sleeping night. Just thinking about these things that happened. And I think ever since the Jewish Holocaust, I didn't hear about such horrifying things. Happen to Jewish people just because they are Jewish. And I think these people, they are monsters. I cannot imagine how a person that came out from his mom's belly, he could do such a thing for a baby, for a child, for a woman, for an elderly person, and even for a soldier. These people are monsters. They are not serving their people. They are not serving anyone. I don't know what they serve. I don't know which religion believes in taking the head out of a baby after you murdered the baby. Completely, like, families were burnt in their shelter room. The entire family found burnt. Entire families got out of the rooms, shelter rooms. They made them stand in a line and they tied them together and they murdered them. So, on one hand, you want to keep safe, you want to keep yourself mentally safe, you want to keep yourself strong. But on the other hand, you have to know what was happening there. It's like learning all the details about the Holocaust. It's terrifying. It can make you not sleep for nights, but you have to know. So this is the situation. So we try to keep TV off, and for today we made a decision to turn it on only in the afternoon and not to keep it on before we go to bed. But we cannot plan all the details because sometimes you want to know if something new happened. So we are jumping between funerals and volunteering. This is our situation. I don't think there is one Israeli that doesn't know somebody that got murdered. Three boys of Maya's friends from elementary school, they were in the nature party and they were survived, but three of them have stories, and one of them got bullets in his knees, and I don't know. I try to share on my Instagram for those of you who want to go into the details. I think the world should know about the details because it's not like any other war we had here in Israel. It's dealing with monsters. So, yeah. And I think the world should know about it. So I'm trying to share over on my Instagram stories when I think there is something that is important to show the world. Personally, I spend a lot of time knitting and cooking. I find a lot of comfort in these two activities. So I try to knit as much as I can. Whenever I'm not out to volunteer or to go to a funeral, I try not to go a lot out of home. I think if you're not new to here, you know I'm a very home lover person. I don't like to go out in my nature. But in these days I have to go, but I try to keep myself also safe. And I find a lot of comfort doing the usual homeworking stuff. And I think if somebody could put a camera on me, I think I take it like over the top. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen making things for my family, cooking, cutting vegetables, preparing the food, preparing my pantry, taking care of all the little details. It gives me a lot of comfort. And knitting gives me a lot of comfort as well. So I spend a lot of time knitting. Not very good for my joints. I still have a lot of joint pains. We are having a very low carb diet here. I personally eat in a low carb diet and I fast a lot, so this helps a lot to reduce the joint pains. But I do knit a lot more than my joint would like. But knitting gives me a lot of comfort, and it keeps me mentally, or it helps my anxiety levels. Because we are going back and forth between our apartment and Eyal's mom's apartment, I do keep my stuff in 2 bags, my personal stuff in 2 bags. Each and every one of us has his own bag, but we also have left things in Eyal's mom's apartment just to be, so we have the basic stuff there. But I do keep my personal things in 2 bags. This is my personal bag where I keep my personal stuff, like my Kindle and my personal, like I don't know. This bag carries my personal stuff. This is my Como bag and my pattern of mine. And yeah, this maybe this is the time to say thank you for those of you. It's not very hard to recognize those of you who went into my Etsy and Ravelry stores and just picked up a few patterns or all of the patterns. Thank you for supporting me via Ko-Fi. I really appreciate it. Of course, I cannot make any knitting meetings here, and in terms of new patterns, I do have new patterns, and I have a new sock pattern that I just wanted to release, but I just cannot find the power, the mental power that I need to sit and do this thing to publish a new pattern now. But thank you for all of you that went into my Etsy shop and into my Ravelry store. It's not very hard to say. I really appreciate your support. I'm not sure if I'm saying these, I use the right words to explain, but I know who is coming into my shop to show support. I can tell it's not just, to come and to buy a pattern. Etsy also announced that they will extend the bills for Israeli shop owners, and they did a few of very nice steps to support Israeli shops, the Israeli shop owners. And then other than my personal stuff bag, I always carry my knitting bag with me, a huge bag filled with quite a few projects that I carry with me, quite a few like wool balls and cotton balls, needles and hooks and all the knitting accessories. And no matter what I'm working on, the other things will be staying here, because if we make a decision that we are going now to Eyal's mother, to her apartment, I can immediately grab this huge bag, take it with me and go to her place. I cannot imagine myself going out without the knitting bag, so I prepared a lot of things here, and I hope I will not have to use it while being closed in the safety room for a few days, but I got prepared for this situation. So actually I have a few projects that I took with me. Hearing the news and hearing how many babies and kids were left without their parents, I immediately felt I want to start crochet a woolly and soft Angie bunny. Angie bunny is a pattern that is my pattern, is one of the best sellers for years in my Etsy and Ravelry stores. But this time, originally I made it from a 4-ply sport weight cotton, but this time I decided to use a wool that I purchased in Copenhagen. And by the way, I was already started to edit a video where I share everything we did in Copenhagen and all the yarn shops and wool shops I visited, and I started to edit it. It's already almost ready to be published, but I cannot find the mental, I'm in a different place now. I cannot find the power that I need to have in order to sit and edit and record a voiceover. But I hope I will be able to share it soon. So the Angie Bunny project sits in this project bag. Is a CrochetObjet bag, the fabric bag that I made a few years ago, and I started to crochet Angie Bunny. You see, I'm almost done with the head. I'm just in the point where I have to locate the eyes, so hopefully I will do it today. I'm using the EcoSoft yarn that I purchased in Copenhagen. EcoSoft is a 56% alpaca and 44% organic cotton, and I'm using a 4mm crochet hook, and yeah, I crochet a little Angie bunny. I did shorten the legs and shorten the hands. I don't know how to explain why I did it, but this bunny is made to give to someone. I'm not sure who will it be. I'm not sure how will I send it to this kid, but that's what I feel I want to do at the moment. And I felt I want to make it with short legs and short arms. So instead of crocheting 20 rounds for the leg, as in the original pattern, I made only 9 rounds in the legs, and I also shortened the hands. I think I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 rounds for the hands. And it becomes so soft and very nice. And I hope it will be I hope I can give it to a kid that maybe it can help someone happy in the near future. So this is what I am working on at the moment, and I also keep my my coziest memory here in this bag. I don't want to go into the details. I just can say that this project gives me a lot of comfort. I really spend a lot of time with this project. I enjoy getting involved in the colors. I enjoy the garter stitch. I don't think I have a lot of time. It's been already over 40 minutes that I'm recording, and it's getting too long, and I want to be out and to be with my family. But I have added quite a few squares to my coziest memory blanket, and it's starting to become bigger and bigger. I decided to add 2 more squares to the length. So last time I spoke about it here, it was 24 squares long. I added 2 squares, and I decided to make it 26 squares long. I also keep here inside my escaping knitting bag, I keep this project bag that I purchased in Copenhagen, and I really cannot wait to share with you this beautiful shop that I bought it from. And I keep here a lot of like Aweta sock yarns and my usual sock knitting needle case, and a lot of like accessories, scissors, and it has a little pocket here inside, and I keep like tapestry. So my camera got turned off. I don't know if it's a sign, but yeah, I think I will wrap up this video here. I do have a few more things in my knitting bag that I carry with me everywhere. I also plan to share 2 socks that I finished and 2 pairs of socks that I finished lately and that are already blocked and being ready to gift the people I made it for. But I think yeah, I wanted to share more details about them, but I think I have to wrap up this video here. Once again, just before I close up this video, I just want to say a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart and from all of my family members, from Eyal, from Maya, from Uri, from Tomer, and thank you all for your heartwarming messages in all the platforms. And just to make sure that you know that we read them all, most of them I read loudly to my family, and it really, really means a lot to us. So thank you so much. And even if I didn't reply personally, I just want you to know I read every word you sent, and every word you sent was making good or feeling good to read for me and for my family. I just hope I can meet you here again soon with a regular episode speaking about my knitting and about my crochet and talking about all other sourdough, homemaking, all other usual stuff. I don't know when this will be possible here in Israel, but I will do my best to keep you updated whatsoever. So if I have time, I will record an update for you. Hopefully it will just be a knitting update and crochet update and Monday's update and knit night update, but we shall see. So once again, thank you everybody, and I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye.